Yeah, good afternoon. Uh, I wanted to do this video to show y'all what I'd been talking about. So, one of the things that in March I'll be doing a giveaway. The last I checked, I was at 117 subscribers. Sometimes I'll lose one, then gain two, or whatever. So there could be fewer than 117 now, but I am over 100 subscribers. And in March, I'll be doing a couple of giveaways. Now, I got this in, which is the Four Agreements. And then this came today, which is the Four Agreements companion book. And these two books are Toltec. Well, the Four Agreements is where I learned about the Toltecs. And if you're following me and you watch me read, I regularly, at least a few times a week, read from Daily Meditations on the Toltec Path, Living a Life of Awareness. The actual title is Living a Life of Awareness. And that's by Don Miguel Ruiz's son, who is Junior. I had personally known about the Toltecs several years before finding this book back in the early 2000s, or like 2002 or 3. I found discovered this in a library in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Might have been even, I don't know what year, but it was early 2000s. But I had known about the Toltecs previously because a few years before that, I'd been introduced to an author named Carlos Castaneda. Now, there's a big debate on whether Carlos Castaneda's works were fiction or actual, real. Because when you look for Carlos Castaneda's books, you will find them in nonfiction. If you have read them, you know already what I'm about to tell you, but if you haven't read them and you do decide to go look for Carlos Castaneda, when you're reading them, he's basically telling you a story of him being introduced to a Toltec sorcerer / wizard, but he calls him a sorcerer in the book. Well, there's a lot of books by Carlos Castaneda. And it's about the journey of him being taught by this man, Don Juan. I can't remember his last name, but he met this 80-something-year-old man back in the 60s, I believe. And the man took him through a whole series of, over a period of years, of processes in bringing Carlos to understand exactly what it meant to be a Toltec, the nature of reality, and how to do certain things. Well, there's a lot of stuff in the books that many people think are just made up, and there's like college debate, like there at certain colleges and stuff, they'll have like actual classes on was it actually real or was it him just making up a bunch of crap, because there is a theory that he really never met this dude, and he was like, when he says he was down in Mexico studying under this guy, that, but I don't question it. When I read those books, I'd already become aware of what reality is, as far as knowing that as a human being or a spirit in this physical form, there's a veil pulled over us. And what we think is reality is not the complete totality of reality. We live in like 1 or 2% of what the true reality is, and we're limited by what we call five senses. A lot of people believe the sixth sense, like intuition, psychic abilities. I'm here to tell you through experience, there's more than just a sixth sense. But I'm not here to tell you exactly what to believe. I'm not here to tell you how to come about understanding these things. But what is awesome is when I found the Four Agreements and started reading this, so many years after reading certain Carlos Castaneda's work, I picked this up, and it basically simplified it to the point where a lot of the stuff in the Carlos Castaneda books, there was a lot of detail. There was a lot of like stories in there, like some really, if you were to read it, even though it is nonfiction, if you are a typical, everyday, normal person, you're probably going to think the guy's full of crap. I, on the other hand, had done a lot of psychedelics. I had opened my mind, and at that point, I was being led early in my life, in my 20s, to know the true nature of reality by the Spirit. Anyway, this simplifies it, breaks it down, and tells you what you need to know in a very basic, easy to understand type of way. And from that, a few years later, they put out the companion book, which I've had the companion book before also, but I've had probably, I'd say I've had 6 to 10 copies of the Four Agreements through my life, and I'm 49 Earth years old. Now, I remember, I had all the other a bunch of different Toltec wisdom books, like The Voice of Knowledge, The Mastery of Love, there's a bunch of cool books by Don Miguel Ruiz Sr. Well, I don't remember how long ago it was, but when my friends first told me, hey, did you know there's a fifth agreement? Oh, man, I had to get it. I was like, a fifth agreement? And this is the fifth agreement. Now, this book I won't be giving away. I haven't had a copy of this in a long time. And if a person was to go to a bookstore and pick up the fifth agreement, never have read the Four Agreements or any of the other Toltec wisdom books, or even knew about Carlos Castaneda or what the Toltecs were, you could pick this book up, and I'd say about the first quarter of the book really is basically just summarizing what you learn in the Four Agreements, and just giving you the basics and getting you up to speed to tell you why he took so long in releasing the fifth agreement. He tells you in the fifth agreement. Now, the fifth agreement is be skeptical but learn to listen. The four agreements are be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And the fourth agreement, always do your best, and know that your best changes from day to day, moment to moment. One day you might be physically sick, and the next day you're feeling better. So your best is not going to be the same as if you're sick or physically ill. Same with if you're in your head and you're depressed. Your best is not going to be the same as if you got a good attitude on a certain day and you're not depressed and you're physically good and you're doing everything you can. But the point was, always do your best. And if you know you've put your best in, even on the worst of days, that's all you can do. Now, the fifth agreement, he explained, he didn't want to put the fifth agreement in the four agreements because he felt like it was way too much all at once. He wanted people to first digest the four agreements and get to that point. So these two books I'm going to give away for the people that follow me and like me sharing the spiritual stuff I share, the books I'm reading from, and stuff like that. Now, if you watch my channel for action figures and certain things, there's going to be something I'm going to be giving away for action figure people and people that are enthusiasts of like stuff like that. But I'm going to end it here. This video is kind of getting long. Once I know exactly what I'm giving away when it comes to like action figures and world building, I will do a video on that, and I'll probably recap that these two things are going to be given away, and that I have these couple of action figures or some kind of diorama piece or something that's going to be another type of giveaway. So I originally thought I might do like one giveaway and have like 3 prizes, and whoever won, depending on what they watch the channel for the most, could pick. But I've realized, some people only come to my channel just for the toys and stuff. And I'm starting to do a little more with my world building and my toy figures and stuff. So there will be a lot more coming on that. But I do a lot of sharing from certain spiritual texts and just sharing my life in general if you do watch. And I appreciate every one of you that are subscribing. I know there's only a few that watch me pretty regularly and comment and stuff. But regardless, if you've subscribed and you see this video, know that in a week or two, I don't know exactly when, but once I get it locked down, I will be doing an official video saying, okay, we're going to start the giveaway, and I'll probably have you comment in there and just, say, hey, I want to be entered to win the books, or, hey, I'm really interested in the action figures. I was going to do something that was comic book based too, but I haven't done a whole lot of comic book stuff here yet. I've done some sharing of what I've picked up and was reading, and I still got a review that I will get to it. But I have a life also outside of doing YouTube videos. But anyway, Mr. Cloud saves the eternal moment here. And until next time, I wish you the best. Ditto. Over and out.